like on the sides and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you're just taken further down, the internet highway. But so in the 80s and 90s, before the internet, uh, if a newspaper was going to run a um, story that looked like, or an ad that looked like a story, that's how they did it back then. They made ads that looked like stories, but they were required to put the word advertisement on
Okay.
it, right? But since individuals can own websites, there's no way to police. You can't tell everybody to just simply put the word advertisement, you know. But this dovetails into what recently happened with Facebook when we had the whistleblower, and she explained that Facebook makes more money on the negative algorithms than the positive algorithms. And so my paper in 2018, suggested that websites, if they're taking paid ads, they could color the ads differently so that people knew that they were ads versus just something coming up in their feed,
Yeah.
so they can get an idea, so they can authenticate, imagine that, authenticate the piece of information more than anything else. But none of that legislation is in place. There's no mandate. In the 1980s, Chris, the FCC had they had a policy: time will be applied to opposing views for local television stations.
Is this the fairness doctrine?
Well, it's related. Yeah. It was related to it. Yeah. Well, fairness doctrine has to do with how much information can you take from someone else and use it on your own. And if it's for an academic endeavor, it's paraphrasing and quoting and properly citing your sources. And then, as an instructor, we have to determine, is most of the paper, is it overly quoted, and there's not enough of the student in the paper or the intellect behind it. But when we think of the Fairness Use Act, in the 1980s, they wanted people to be able to come on the end of a newscast and give their opinion about the challenging